Welcome everyone. Welcome. It's been a long time since I got on here with um opening a flat, man. It's been a long time. It was a long season last year for the Commanders. It was a long off season, but we're back, man. We're back. We got a lot of things going on. Um a lot of changes for the Commanders. Last time I got on here, I talked to you. We was at the end of the season. Still had Ron Rivera. Still had um, a lot of the coaching staff was there. Still had a lot of the old players. But coming in for Commander 24, we have a lot of different things, a lot of new things going on. So first and foremost, I want to say everybody to subscribe to my channel, Opening the flat. Um, I also have another channel, DC Mark 202, and I have Mark and Cassie Adventures. So subscribe, and get all your updated news, Commanders news, NFL news, Wizards news, all type of news. So I'm trying to hit on all topics this year, just not trying to stay focused on the Commanders. I might try some new things. So, but today was our first preseason. Commanders lose to the Jets in preseason 20-17, but we had a lot of promising signs that I saw. But first, before we get in that, we need to start off with let's do a quick recap from the end of the season all the way down to what happened today. As you know, we got a new GM, new head coach, new offense and defensive staff, which led to some key all-season acquisitions that we picked up that we needed to pick up. And of course, our number one quarterback, our big draft pick, which was Jayden Daniels. Um, it was a lot of discussion going back and forth about Jayden Daniels or some of the other quarterbacks that was in the draft, but I'm glad they focused on him and end up drafting him because that was much needed. A guy that could um, get the offense moving, could move the ball with his arm, his legs, and his intelligence is I believe is a little bit better than everybody else. We still have the other quarterback up in Chicago, Khalid, still worried about, but we're not worried. But I think he's going to be a good one as well. But we're just happy with who we picked up as our quarterback and trying to move forward. Um, Commanders did a lot of things this off season. They changed offensive coordinators. They went with the guy um, who was the who was the head coach out of Arizona that played with that coach Kyler Murray. Um, his name is I can't think of his name. His name is can't recall his name at the moment. Um, Picked them up, but more importantly, we ended up picking up Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn was a big pickup out of all the coaches that was available. Um, Honestly, I don't believe he was my number one pick at first, but watching him over the next couple of months and the other coaches that he picked up from offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn ended up being the guy that I think was best for the team. He ended up picking up a lot of people that uh, who primarily when it came to the Commanders and um, and coach here. So we ended up picking up him. He led the right way as far as the draft. He led the right way as far as um, picking up key free agents. He led the right way as far as us being in training camp and the way we practice, the way they prepare. So he was a big pickup for us, and I appreciate that. And a lot of fans, I don't know really understand, how they feel because I listened to a lot of fans in the DC area, and they were seeing a little bit upset. They was a little bit upset with the coaching. They was a little bit upset with the quarterback position changing. They was upset with the guy we drafted. Um, Now I hear this past week guys are upset about position players and who they're picking up, who's getting beat on this play or that play. We just gotta have a lot of things that's just going on, which I think is a little bit uh, still too early in the game to be upset with this player or that player, But they have a long way to go. We're trying to keep um, our expectations. I want to say keep our expectations down, but we're trying to watch our expectations. They're just trying to understand um, exactly what Dan Quinn is doing and what Adam Peters is doing, our new GM. So we got to try to fill out what they're doing, what they're trying to do, what our offense trying to do, what our defense trying to do, and do we have the players to step in and fill the roles that these coaches desire or that these coaches need? Because a lot of players that's on the roster now, um, they might not be the players that the coach want. They might not be the player that the offensive coordinator need or defensive coordinator needs. So they just trying to fill in right now. Not just show up. Anybody can show up. All guys can play, but sometimes you have certain schemes and you just trying to get a feel and trying to work with who you can work with until you can get your right guys in there. So we're trying to get a good feel out of a lot of the guys. A lot of guys, practices have been in for training camp, been in for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now. Um, Led up to the first preseason game against the Jets. All a couple of days last week, they practiced against the Jets, and they had a few plays against us. Nothing for that I would be concerned about. Guys making plays. But some of other fans in the DC area were a little bit worried about some of the things that was going on. And me personally, I appreciated things happen in the preseason. Those you could go back, you could watch film, you could make adjustments, and you could say, "Hey, let's work on this, let's work on that. Hey, this coverage work, that coverage don't work. This player play this position better. Let's fill this guy in on this certain role, that certain role." So that's all about what practice is for. Some things work in practice. Some things, and then they turn around don't work in the game. And some players work in certain type of packages that you might see in practice, but it might work. Then they might say then it don't work. So that's how you try to get all the corks out right then and there. So they have still a whole lot to do, and a whole lot to work on to try to make themselves better. And I'm not overly concerned on um, what happened in week one of the preseason or what happened in a practice against another NFL team, because you don't know exactly what they was working on. You don't know uh, how aggressive the Jets was trying to be. You don't know what the plays the Jets was trying to work on. All you know is two teams got out there. And you don't know what the Commanders was working on. You just know it's two teams they got out there. They started playing around. This player gets beat. This player don't get beat. This player make a big catch. This player don't make a big catch. So, and that's what practice is for. So I'm not worried. I'm not concerned or anything. The most importantly, I want to see my quarterback get out there and he makes some plays. He makes some plays with his arm. He makes a few plays with his legs. But he showed me consistently that he's understanding exactly what's going on. So, and that's the big thing that we could take away from it. Um, and that's all it is. This season, it really isn't about going up and trying to be dominant. You want to try to be dominant every play, but this is basically a season for um, Jayden Daniels to try to get it on the right foot, get on the right step, and learn, make good throws, make good reads. He gonna have his mistakes, which um, I expect that he gonna have a few interceptions. He gonna have some fumbles. He gonna take some sacks, and all of that can happen. And I expect that. I expect for all those things to happen, but I expect for this to be for him to get around the learning curve this year, and that's what I expect what the Commanders do to get around. Um, it's going to be big. It's going to be big for the Commanders, the franchise. It's going to be big for the coach, Adam Peters, the GM. and Jayden Daniels, and it's going to be big for some of the guys who have contract years, or who's expecting a new contract, and we just want to see them get off to a big start. But watching the game today against the Jets, I thought Jayden Daniels, they came in and did pretty good. He was 2 or 3 45 yards. Had a big throw. I think it was like 42-yard off a audible off the right sideline. So De'Ami Brown made a big catch, threw a dime. Perfect. The cornerback was all over the receiver, and it dropped right to where only the receiver can get it. And that's what you can see. Later on that drive, he had a good couple of runner plays with Robinson and Eckler that they moved the ball up and down the field. And then on that last play, Jayden Daniels had a keeper to where he took off towards the sideline, ran an easy touchdown. So that was a good starter, good momentum for him, for the team. You build some confidence. Again, he was 2 or 3 45 yards. He only played that one drive. He had a couple of throws. It was pretty good. And yeah, we all gonna have worries. We all gonna worry about what he's gonna do and in the season, in the preseason. But obviously, this game he did out pretty good, and I expected him to just take it slow and do pretty good. Overall, I thought the defense was pretty good. They had a couple plays they had on us. If there wasn't anything that really stood out to me, far as what the Jets was doing, or probably what the Commanders were doing, this is more of a let's play the game. Let's just play. Let's get it over. Let's get the tape. Let's watch the tape and get a feel for what's going on. Our offensive line held up pretty good. D line held up pretty good. Even though we lost, I thought they played pretty good, and they played a good Jets. As you know, the Jets didn't have Aaron Rodgers. Jets didn't still have a top defense, and they didn't really have all their boys in there and playing defense. And we really didn't know. It didn't seem like the Jets played aggressive, their normal style of play. So that's why I say these preseason games or these practices, you really don't understand what the guys are working on or what they're trying to do. So that's why I say I'm not too worried about what's going on in these games, because you don't know what they're trying to do, you don't understand what they're trying to do. And but overall, well, my main concern, and I want to bring this up early, is what we're going to do about a kicker. That's my main concern. We haven't been right since Dustin Hopkins. We had Joey Sly last year. They haven't been right since Hopkins. So special teams is a new kickoff, and then you haven't had a reliable kicker on the back end. And what they're gonna do? Are they gonna the guy was one guy that was there, he missed a field goal. But if you hear reports from practice, guys been missing kicks left and right all week, this week and last week. So I'm a little concerned about that. Anything else I'm not concerned about. I'm not concerned about Forbes. He gonna learn, he's gonna practice, he's gonna play hard, and he's gonna do whatever he gotta do. We got to show up some other spots on defense. We got to show up some spots on offense. We got to make sure that offensive line can hold up with Jayden Daniels. It's just so much that they have to do, they have to work on, and they're far away from being a team I think they can really honestly compete on a national level. I think they could play within our division. I think they're going to have to play within our division against the Giants, Eagles, Cowboys. And like every year, the division is always open for anyone to take it. So they're going to have to play against these teams. They'll have to show up. Jayden Daniels is going to have to be the guy who make good plays. And they're going to have to show up and move forward with him and move forward with the offense that we have. So again, I just want to talk about a quick game came out preseason week 1. Let me get some. Marcus Mariota came in. He had one drive, got out of there. You couldn't really get too much what he was looking at, what he was doing. You had Driscoll came in. He was okay. So probably made a couple of big plays on his feet. Hartman came in. He was okay. Um, they still got a long way to go. Still got a lot of guys, little young guys on their team. Got some veterans in their offensive scheme, defensive scheme. So they have a long way to go. A lot of things that they're gonna need to do. And man, I'm just expecting that they're gonna play hard. They're gonna play tough, and we're gonna move forward. So Commanders back in, man. We gotta do something this year. They week 1, they played against the Jets first preseason game, ended up losing 20-17. And we look forward to the next game. We just gotta keep on going, keep fighting, get better as a position quarterback. We have the guys gonna have to step up as far as offensive line, wide receivers. These guys gonna have to step up and make some plays. And that's what I expect. And I expect the defense to step up for them to hold down. So, and I'm gonna keep in touch. It's been a while. I'm gonna keep in touch with you guys and try to release a video as much as I can. So like, subscribe to Opening the Flat. My other 2 YouTube channels is DC Mark 202. That's my gaming channel. And then my wife and I have a channel, Mark and Cassie Adventures. What we do, that's our travel channel. So subscribe to those channels, man. I'm gonna keep you up to date. I'm gonna keep you up. Week 1, season. We got the Buccaneers. We play the Giants. Week 2, Bengals, Cardinals, Browns. Man, we got a nice schedule, but I think they could pull out some wins this year. So like, subscribe, and keep in touch, man. I'm gonna keep in touch with y'all. All right.